Hi, I'm Professor Jay Zagorsky, and I'm wondering if you know why unemployment exists. Having a rough idea is important because understanding what causes unemployment improves your chances of finding work. There are many reasons, but I'm going to highlight the 5 most important in this video. They are structural, frictional, cyclical, seasonal, and institutional. Don't worry if this list seems overwhelming. I'll break each one down simply. Cyclical unemployment is the type most people are familiar with. It occurs because the economy goes through periodic cycles of good and bad times. When the economy is doing great, businesses want to hire more workers. During bad times, businesses need fewer workers because they're selling much less. In my neighborhood, I see this all the time with real estate agents. Some years there are lots of people buying and selling homes. Many real estate agents are employed. However, when the economy changes direction and people stop buying and selling homes, many real estate agents lose their jobs. It's because no one needs their services. Cyclical unemployment occurs because of what economists call sticky wages. When the economy hits hard times, wages typically don't change. They're stuck. Instead, companies usually fire or lay off workers. Why? Because workers don't like pay cuts. What would you do if your boss suddenly came by and said, "You're doing a great job, but we're cutting your pay in half due to a poor economy"? When the pay is dramatically cut, many people get angry. Some become disruptive and even sometimes sabotage the company. Managers have found it's better to change the number of workers rather than overall pay. When unemployment rises because of cyclical reasons, this is a great time to stay in school or go back for more education. This will improve your qualifications and increase your chances of being hired in the future. Structural unemployment occurs when a worker's skills no longer match any business need. Technological change creates but also eliminates many occupations. For example, a few decades ago, many people used typewriters. These machines would often jam or break if you typed too fast. Drat! So, the job of a typewriter repairman was a popular and needed position. Then computers replaced typewriters and the job of typewriter repairman was structurally eliminated. What does this mean for you? If structural unemployment is high while you're in school and you're learning a new field, don't worry. I was in college when software companies began replacing factories in the US. Lots of former factory workers found themselves structurally unemployed. But since I was studying computer programming, I easily found a job. However, if you're in a job that's being structurally eliminated, think about retraining. Frictional unemployment is another reason why people who want a job are not working. Frictional unemployment arises because searching for a job does not provide instant results. It takes time for businesses and prospective workers to find each other and agree on a deal. During the long process of posting jobs, interviewing, and agreeing on wages, people are not working. And this is all wasted labor. I had a friend who was a great chef. He lost his job when the restaurant he worked in closed. Even though there were lots of restaurants looking to hire chefs, it took a couple of months for him to find the right position and get back to working. During all that time, he was frictionally unemployed. While he had the skills and there were jobs available, it took time for him to find the right position. When unemployment is high because of frictional reasons, there's nothing for you to worry about. Simply start searching for work earlier. If you have a job, keep your resume up to date and your eyes and ears open for new positions so that frictional unemployment doesn't affect you. Seasonal unemployment is when there's no work because of weather or time conditions. For example, lifeguards who protect swimmers are usually hired in the summer and laid off in the winter. Ski instructors are the exact opposite. They're hired in the winter and laid off in the summer. When the season's over, businesses close down and workers have to search for new jobs. My friend George has seasonal unemployment figured out perfectly. Each winter he's a ski instructor, and each summer he's a boat mechanic. Both companies he works for only need him for about 5 months a year. And this gives George the stability of not having to search for work when one season's over. It also gives him some vacation time in between jobs. If you can find work for different seasons, you can remain employed for most of the year and not worry about seasonal unemployment. The last type of unemployment is called institutional. Institutional unemployment arises because wages are set too high for institutional reasons and cannot legally fall. For example, in New York City, the stagehands who move around sets and props in many Broadway theaters are unionized, and they're paid incredibly well. Since the salary is very high and the job is not very strenuous, there's a huge supply of people all trying to be hired. However, since the current stagehands have such large wages, there isn't enough money to hire new and more workers. This means many people who want this job are left unemployed. There's not much you can do about institutional unemployment. If you know someone who might get you into one of these high-paying jobs, go for it. Otherwise, choose another career or be prepared for a long search, which typically means living with roommates and spending quite frugally. In conclusion, we've gone over 5 major reasons for unemployment in this video. If you're unemployed, use the lessons I've taught you to increase your personal chances of finding a job. Understanding these reasons is also useful for government officials, who can create programs to reduce unemployment. For example, if structural unemployment is the problem, then retraining programs can really help. If cyclical unemployment is the problem, then governments can temporarily hire the unemployed workers. Governments must first understand which type of unemployment they're up against, because implementing structural retraining programs when the actual underlying issue is cyclical unemployment only makes the economic situation much worse. Be sure to check out my other videos for a better economic understanding of the world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.